Folks, welcome to tonight's episode of the Run and Gun Podcast. I'm Jay Peeps, and we're still trying to figure out how to go live on Instagram.
We're
Jeez.
alive.
On Instagram?
Yes.
No, oh no. Oh wait, okay, wait. There we go. Okay, now I gotta hit it.
We are live. I don't know what J Peeps is doing. He's having his own little mental issues going on there with it.
Yeah, we
I
got
am
it.
telling you we're live.
No, now,
All right,
yeah,
cool.
now.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Run and Gun Podcast, Season 7, Episode 14. The waiting game.
Oh,
FAMU's got their own issues being run.
multiple
Saints got
reasons.
their own issues being run. One team that doesn't have any issues being run right now, apparently, is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles have a lot of issues being run right now.
Dude, honestly,
Cowboys got a lot of issues.
Dude, it's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on in Philadelphia that a lot of people are pissed off about, and I cannot wait to talk about it. Among other things that I can't wait to talk about, I can't wait to talk about the resume that just came out. That's just got me like shaking my head right now. Well, we'll talk about it on the other side of the introduction and stuff, so don't go anywhere. Also, too, we'll talk about the playoff picture as a whole and how that's unfolding. Well, let's going to talk about a little college hoops in the game that's going on right now. So we've moved on now from college football to college hoops. So, yes. So before we get started.
Friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. You know what? We're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So
yes,
I'm posting the link now.
Also,
let's run this intro
tonight as well. But yes, we're going to go ahead and run this intro. So don't go anywhere. Get comfortable. Intro's next. It's going to be a fun one. Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is JP.
This is the Bug.
This is JC.
This is Flash. This is Jimi Hendrix.
And you're listening to.
And you're listening to.
And you're listening to.
And you're listening to the Run and Gun Podcast.
So, right away. Oh boy. Jeez. Look.
Oh yeah. Use it broken.
Wow, that's funny. Someone said Jerry's still in charge. That's the real issue. No, that's facts.
I agree. Oh yeah, with the Cowboys keeping Mike. Yeah.
We'll talk about that later this evening. Or in a few. All right, so here we go. So, as it pertains, and as I've collected so far, because I had a reliable source talk to me about it today. So, crazy thing was, I was unaware of this. There was a committee meeting that outlined like what FAMU's looking for in a coach, and they debated a bunch of stuff. They asked the AD some pointed questions and how much money she had fundraised and what she never answered. So yeah, someone was asking if we had it, and someone told us the crazy part of this whole thing was at the beginning, someone asked where the student athlete representative was from the leadership council on the football team, and come to find out, the leadership council or everybody on the leadership council had not been contacted until the meeting had already started. This is what pisses me off.
That is what you call a clown show.
This is what you call an unprecedented. This is what you call an unprecedented amount of fuckery.
I wasn't gonna say it, but yes, that too.
Oh my goodness. And then look at this. It made so much sense. South Alabama finalizing a deal to promote OC Major Applewhite as their head coach, per Pete Thamel from ESPN. That just came across from Lights on College Sports, who, by the way, is an excellent young reporter in this profession. Damn. That's genius. And then,
It's rocket science.
dude, honestly, anyone with a 5th grade education could figure out like how this needs to just go ahead and end. Anybody.
Yeah, it's called somebody who's in a job. And their first name starts with a T, ends with a Y. Last
Jerry.
name starts with an S.
Sure reminds me of Jerry Krause, honestly.
Bruh.
So wait, let me share this actually. So I have this right here from the AD as far as what is being looked at and what is being. Oh wait, no, not that one. I need to share the screen. Let me see. One sec, my bad. Give me one sec.
All right, well, he finds his sources. Yeah, it's a clown show going on with family. They're making it harder than it needs to be.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Why do you need to get a search going? Why do you need to have y'all watch the Zoom meeting?
The Zoom meeting, the one from yesterday I watched, I didn't know there was one today. I did not know. I'm going to share this right here. Let me know when you see it, Ace.
It's loading. It is.
So do you see it now?
Mm-hmm.
So Sykes laid out the FAMU football head coach, what her ideal candidate should possess. Basically, it's doing her job per se, partially. FAMU AD Tiffany Dawn Sykes' ideal characteristics for FAMU's next head football coach: the ability to recruit athletically and academically gifted athletes, college head coaching experience with a good competitive record, as well to appreciate. Okay, well, you know what? She swayed me with the second one. Second one was a win. Appreciation of HBCU culture, potential longevity in the role. Okay, so that means Alex Wood is not returning back to FAMU, and neither is Earl Holmes. NCAA compliance and APR knowledge. So basically what she's good at. Communication skills. Well, gee, damn. Every coach in America should have that. You got to have the gift of gab to do a head coaching job, as with most jobs of that expertise. Fundraising and budget management experience. What the hell does that have to do with being a head coach? Ace.
I'm just shaking my head because this is just a clown show. At this point, like half of this stuff not even football related.
Knowledge of current trends in college football, such as transfer portal and name, image, and likeness.
Okay, that one I guess kind of makes sense because you got to be with the times. You can't be an old head, but like, jeez. Like, what are we doing here, people? Why are you making this so difficult?
Exactly. And I want to reiterate something before I keep going. Like, and people need to realize this. Dumbasses need to realize this. Nobody's attacking her because she's a woman. Nobody ever said anything about it being because she's a woman. We don't care. I'm all for this women's empowerment thing. I'm all for it. I have no problem with her being a woman in the role. It's great. It's absolutely great. What I have a problem with is when you can't execute your job to the fullest of your ability, and you're not executing your job to the fullest of your ability. Now, give or take as well, there's a lack of communication on all ends of the spectrum here. Board of Trustees, it's their fault. They're a little bit to blame too. There's a lack of communication. Also, why are we getting a search committee? Who gonna pay the search committee? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's like, how hard is it to do this?
You know, it makes so much sense. Like honestly, look, you know, and again, someone I hate to compare, but it's like, dude, Alabama hired their head coach
In like 2 days.
72 hours like they promised, and they missed out on their first option. They missed on their first option, Dan Lanning. Goddamn, you just saw South Alabama just got Major Applewhite as their head coach. Why is this is we're extending this longer than it has to extend. Like I'm to the point now where I'm just like, and then no, and here's what someone said. Oh well, what if they hire in house and it doesn't work? First of all, I regardless of all the shit that's going on, I anticipate FAMU will likely win 7 games minimum next year. The way I'm looking at this now. Now,
That
good.
roster's too loaded to not have success anyway.
Yeah,
Unless you a Dennis Allen type head coach who's actually terrible at his job.
or unless you get to
Hard.
unless you get to the point where it's like these guys get to the 30th of the month and they hit the transfer portal. Then it's like you're working with a very limited roster come springtime.
You know, at the rate the 80 going, that is a very legit possibility because who's going to stick around for a clown show?
Nobody.
Exactly.
I
Nobody wants
wanna
to deal with
know
that nonsense.
I want to
They're
know why.
making things harder.
Here's what I want to know. We have a comment. I want to know why were the people on the committee on that football team not told earlier about this meeting that was taking place? Why? Wait,
Hush, hush.
bring that back up.
Oh yeah, he's talking about the misogynistic
I
talk.
wish
It's not misogynistic. It's you can't do your job and you're going to be judged accordingly no matter who you are.
Exactly, dude. Like I had this energy for Jason Light when he first got to Tampa. I had the same energy because I thought he was incompetent, but then he proved his work by growing and winning a Super Bowl and hiring Bruce Arians and bringing in Tom Brady. Like I've gradually grew to like him. I love Jason Light now. Tiffany Don Sykes has a chance to win us all back over.
Yeah, well, there's going to take a lot needed for that.
Yeah, it is. It's going to take a whole lot. And then someone said, "Let this be a." Someone told me, "Let this be a life lesson." Who the? Let me not cuss. I'm like, who the heck do you think you are? Like, dude, oh God, dude, oh my gosh, this is just insane now. And you need to just hire somebody, do it right, and like this is not that hard, man. It's really not. This problem could have been solved literally 72 hours after Willie Simmons put in his resignation papers. Like I think we can all agree this could have been solved like that quick. Right?
Right. Like the hire was literally right there. Like why are they making this so difficult? Like I do not get it. What FAMU's doing? Like I don't know if she's incompetent or she's just like lacking a couple brain cells, out of touch with reality. Which, by the way, I'm going to be saying those exact same frame of words with a white male guy in about 20 minutes. So don't say there's no racism, there's no misogynistic stuff. This is legit what I'm going to be saying. These exact frame of words. I will be saying this in about 20 minutes when we talk about the Saints, because you cannot do your job that is so obvious to what to do right in front of you. Like, come on now. Miss me with all that nonsense. Because what to do is okay. There's always people who says the easy road isn't always the one right in front of the right road's not the easiest one, right? That makes sense, right? But when you're doing all these things, you're making it unnecessary difficult. Because it's like what you have to do is not only easy, but it's clear, obvious, and it makes what you need to go right. But no, you're making this the winding path through the volcano, through the depths of the ocean, and all this nonsense to not just end up in a trash can.
Exactly.
That's basically what it is.
This is. I don't know. I don't get it. Like I said, if a child with a 5th grade education can figure this out, and I'm just like, I don't get it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about something positive. So FAMU's 2024 schedule is nearly finalized. So as it rolls out right now, you got August 24th against Norfolk State in Atlanta MEAC SWAC Challenge. August 31st versus South Carolina State. September 7th at Miami. September 20th. Well, you got a bye week in between there, I believe. September 21st at Troy. September 28th versus Alabama A&M. That's your second home game. October 5th, you travel to Alabama State to play Andrew Body and the Hornets. That's Alabama State's homecoming. October 12th, we're not sure yet. I'll leave that comment up. October 19th, you play at Jackson State. October 26th, you play Southern. The next week after that, November 2nd, is homecoming against Texas Southern. November 9th, we're unsure of. November 16th, we're unsure of. November 23rd is against Bethune. December 7th is the SWAC championship. We don't know where Mississippi Valley and the trip to Prairie View are yet, but I'm assuming the trip to Prairie View is going to probably be November 9th or 16th. And I'm guessing maybe October 12th will probably be Mississippi Valley. So based on that schedule right there, the way this looks now, the way shit's unfolded now, I could see this team winning maybe between the neighborhood of in the neighborhood of 7 to 9 games.
Yeah.
The HBC.
You just got to put a competent person in charge to keep the guys in the building, and you're gonna be fine.
It just seems like the HBC administration just see alumni as people that don't know what they're talking about. Honestly, and I feel like this is the problem. It's so much like there's so many egos. I feel like in the room and everything like that. Like someone's always trying to overtalk somebody or overstep somebody and everything, such as that. Like someone asked me about it. They were like, how come we don't have a situation here like they do at Alabama? And I was like, Alabama's got a lot of money. Alabama's got multiple championships. Alabama also plays in the toughest conference in the country, regardless of what happened this year. Like, I hate to draw comparisons like that, but Alabama was going to get that higher because they want to get this right and they want to get this done and taken care of because they realize we got recruits that want to come in here. We got kids that are going to leave. We need to do all this as soon as possible before signing day. And that's honestly what she should have said too when she mentioned this hiring firm. We want to get this done as soon as possible. She should have said that when Will Simmons sent in his resignation. We want to get this done as soon as possible before signing day. Not we want to have someone by signing day. It's certain words. Because it can't be
the word choice, what to say, the publicity. It's just all bad right now.
Dude, it's insane. It's insane, dude. I just wake me up when they hire somebody. Just wake me up when they hire somebody. I'm
all right. With that being said, let's move it on.
Yes, because I'm gonna get pissed off.
Time for me to get pissed off, but we'll talk about that later. First and foremost, hearts go out to all Cowboys fans out there. Y'all have to deal with Mike McCarthy for another year. But that's okay. Join the club. You have to join what us Saints fans have to deal with. So the Dallas Cowboys announced Jerry Jones pretty much said we are keeping our boy Mike McCarthy, who got almost 50 dropped on him in Jordan Love's playoff debut. Might I say, I saw that coming. I cannot lie. We all knew Packers owned the Cowboys. And Jordan Love, last 6 games, he's been almost on an MVP level kind of player. 18-1 touchdown interception ratio. Didn't drop off in the playoffs against that Dallas defense. Mike McCarthy, Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn should be kissing every head coaching job he had available goodbye after that playoff game. Mike McCarthy should have been gone because he's not a guy you're gonna win a Super Bowl with. I don't know what Jerry's doing with that whole situation, but like, geez. And then you have the Dak situation where Dak looked god awful. He was awful. He had a Derek Carr versus a 500 or better team type game. Was garbage the first 3 quarters. Well, garbage in the beginning, got a little garbage time at the end of the second quarter, and then got even worse. It got worse in the third, and then got good in the fourth when all the good players were sitting and they were playing prevent defense pretty much the rest of the game. That's how Dak stats were as good as it was.
Now, here's my thing: is what's funny is Dak was like, if you're gonna blame and say it's all McCarthy's fault, then you need to pin it on me. I'm like, dude, people were pinning it on you about second quarter. Like, there's no like situation here where it's like, oh well, like I didn't do anything wrong. No, people were, if anything, people were blaming you more than they were blaming McCarthy. Like, come on. And honestly, I feel like the real reason McCarthy is coming back is because they don't see anybody that's worth taking McCarthy's place right now out on the street. Who do you honestly have the most confidence in to come in and replace Mike McCarthy right now? Who?
Bill Belichick, Jim Harbaugh.
I can't see either one of those guys in Dallas. If I am Bill,
Bill wouldn't go to Dallas because of Jerry, and the Bill's aura is bigger than Jerry's. Jerry won't never let that happen. Exactly. But if you ask me who would be guaranteed to be the best option for the Cowboys right now, it would have been Bill. But that being said, I think Bill Belichick's a lock to go to the Falcons.
I don't even think he's a lock to go there. If I'm
Where do you think he's going then?
Honestly, dude, to be real with you, because I feel like the game has honestly passed Bill Belichick by. I think he's gonna retire? I would retire or go into some type of front office position. Because honestly,
that's what he should do, but Atlanta's giving him that job. Because Atlanta's letting Ryan Nielsen, their defensive coordinator, take the. I think he's interviewing right now for the Jacksonville job, the exact same job. So it's a lateral move, and it's like, why would you let your defensive coordinator, who was actually coaching a pretty good defense, walk just like that unless you're hiring a defensive-minded head coach who's going to run his system and not anything else? I mean, that's what I said. I think Bill's a lock there or Harbaugh, but I wouldn't be shocked if either one thing.
I couldn't see Harbaugh going there either. If I'm Harbaugh, I'll go to the Chargers.
Harbaugh's going to Chargers.
Yeah. Now, see, honestly, again, I say it like this. I just don't see Bill Belichick tarnishing his legacy by going to Dallas to work with Jerry Jones, like you said. I just can't see that. I can't see him going to Atlanta. I just don't see how Bill Belichick fits in Atlanta. And then plus, it's like the minute he gets there, there's going to be these unrealistic expectations that people are going to be expecting a Super Bowl because of what he did in New England for 20 plus years. And it's like, it doesn't
work like that. Every year in Dallas, they always think that this is their year. That's like the whole meme on it. Well, like, oh my God, this is definitely our year, guys. And then playoffs come around and we know how it goes.
I'm going to tell you like this. This is why Cowboys fans feel this way. They have 5 Super Bowls. If the Saints had 5 Super Bowls, wouldn't your expectation also be Super Bowl or bust every year?
But the Cowboys haven't been to the Super Bowl since the century started.
The Cowboys haven't been to the Super Bowl since Bill Clinton was in his first term.
Well, you know, fine. 25 plus years, quarter century.
Yes, like, dude, it's crazy when you think about just, dude, that franchise. Their problem is their owner. I'm sorry. I know everybody wants to point the finger at Dak. People want to point the finger at Mike McCarthy. The problem is the issues, Jerry Jones.
But I will say this though, if Dak didn't have 39 million guaranteed, like I would have just said, you know what, screw it. Let's see what Trey Lance got.
Mm-hmm.
If Trey Lance has anything in him to stay in the NFL, because like, geez, it has been Dak when it matters most for Dak, he just crumbles. Like against the 49ers in the playoffs last year, against the 49ers in the regular season this year, against the Packers in the playoffs this year, it's like Dak will probably never win a Super Bowl unless everything goes right for him.
He likely won't, and if he does, it won't be in Dallas.
Yeah.
Like it just
Like Cowboys fans can go up and say like, oh, but Trayvon Diggs was hurt. He didn't play for us or whatever. Leighton Vander Esch was out for the year. Well, you know everybody's got injuries, right? Like Christian
Exactly.
Watson barely played. Jair Alexander left halfway through the game. Like Aaron Jones came back healthy. Aaron Jones, by the way, is the difference maker on the Packers. If you noticed, the Packers started playing good once he came back and he helped take a load off of Jordan Love and helping the offense, the passing game open back up because they were able to run the ball.
it's actually
AJ
funny.
Dillon, by the way, AJ Dillon is like might be worse than Chris Lacey ever was. Even at the end of Chris Lacey's time, like
Eddie Lacy.
AJ Dillon has been bad. Eddie Lacy, not Chris Lacey. Chris Lacey is somebody else.
Eddie Lacy ate his way out of the league, dude. Let's be honest. Come on, like, Eddie Lacy ate his way out of his starting spot. Like
I need my charger. Look at that.
at least he just like still built and buff, and he actually trying. Like, come on. But I will say this.
But Eddie Lacy was good though. Like Eddie Lacy might have been like eating his way out of the league, but like Eddie Lacy could still bulldoze people and just rumble.
That's true. Now, let's ask this right here: should San Francisco be on upset alert after what Green Bay did to Dallas?
They're probably. I would say no, but I hope so. That would be hilarious if the Packers beat the 49ers with like Rodgers got beat by the 49ers every time in the playoffs the last 5 years, right? When he was in Green Bay. It'd be so funny if Jordan Love comes in the first year and takes out the team that Rodgers could never beat. It would just be
I would say a lot.
Amazing.
That
would say a lot for him.
Like, because honestly, like, dude, the way he jumped on Dallas, who expected that? Like, Aaron Rodgers ain't never jump on nobody like that in the playoffs.
Man, I was asking for Jordan Love MVP odds before this year started. Give me some I'm like, you can't say nobody expected that. I kind of knew Jordan Love was going to be good.
I mean, we knew he was going to be good, but we didn't expect. Like, let's be honest. Like Dallas, who expected Dallas to get beat like a drum? If anything, Dallas lose those type of games by like 10, 14, 7 points, maybe a field goal.
Okay, not beat like a drum, but like
exactly.
But we kind of knew the Packers were going to win. But I knew you didn't. You picked the Cowboys.
I mean, I picked the Cowboys because I kind of figured I was like, you know what? They'll get past the wild card round. They'll get to the divisional round, and then they'll probably blow it. And then it's crazy, too, because when you really look at it, the Cowboys were the only team that hosted this past weekend.
That lost.
Exactly.
Packers were the only road team that won.
Exactly. And now you come up on a situation where it's like the NFC can get really interesting because now it's like if San Francisco doesn't beat Green Bay, which I feel like San Francisco will, then Tampa or Detroit could end up hosting the NFC Championship. And now you come to this. How good are the Bucks?
Man, I got a feeling Chauncey running his mouth is going to make Baker go for 500. I'm going to be real.
Dude, did you see what Chauncey Gardner responded with after Baker said?
I didn't see the response. What did he say?
So
I know he ran his mouth, and I was like, why are you doing this?
So after he ran his mouth that initial time, Baker came back and said, well, Russell Gage hasn't been on this team in like 5 months because he just hasn't. Because I'm pretty sure Russell Gage got hurt in preseason, I think.
Yeah, Russell Gage tore his ACL, I believe, early, like in the preseason, and like didn't play at all this year.
Yeah, because and then but Baker complimented him and said that like he's still a good player.
Mm-hmm.
No shade at all. And then Chauncey Gardner-Johnson came back with this as a tweet. I do watch film. Ask the QB before you, my guy.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2 loaded.
I see, like, Chauncey's a great, like, character, but, like, it's just don't run your mouth for a playoff game, dude, because they're gonna motivate the other team and they're gonna drop 500 yards on you. Like, come on now. Like, let's not do that because you're gonna get yourself in a heap of trouble.
Exactly. Because now it's like, dude, you replying like this. Screenshots are forever. I don't get what people don't realize, but screenshots are forever. People keep receipts. I keep receipts. Like, dude. Like Baker done seen this by now, I'm sure. Baker done seen this by now.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And he probably reads it every day. He's probably already picking apart as we speak right now, maybe Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's weaknesses. Every weakness that he has. How can I expose him? How can I turn him inside out? If I get Mike Evans on a mismatch, if I get David Moore on a mismatch, if I get Trey Palmer on some type of route with him, what can we do to expose him? Like, dude, like now I'm like you, dude. Hell, Baker may go for 500, not 500. Baker may go for 400 and like 3 TDs. Like the motivation is there. Because now you done pissed him off. You probably would have got average Baker. You probably would have got that Baker Mayfield that played against the Saints. What was that, week 17? You probably would have got that Baker. But nah. You finna get nicotine patch Baker. Let me stop.
All right, but to be real, yeah, the Lions Bucks game is going to be interesting because I mean the Lions already beat up the Bucks once this year.
Yeah, they did. With 20-6. Yeah, I was there. It was a creamsicle game.
Yeah, this time the Bucks got to go to Detroit. They got to figure out a way to stop Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson. Like Jameson didn't have a big week this week, but Jameson's like a one big play away and he's going to go crazy. Yeah,
exactly.
And then Amon-Ra eats underneath.
Yeah, and that's something that they failed to do in the first matchup because they did a good job stopping the run in the first matchup, but it's because that game slowly got away from the Bucks. So, but it's like if you can stop Amon-Ra St. Brown, if you can stop, oh my gosh, what's the other dude?
Jameson, Josh Reynolds.
Yeah, Jameson Williams. If you can stop that trio and keep Jared Goff off balance, like you have a chance to win. And if you can get Rachaad White going, if Baker can stay consistent like he did last,
you gotta keep pressure on Jared Goff.
Yes, you do. And honestly, I will say this: I don't think that the Lions have the same offensive line that the Eagles had. The Eagles had a better offensive line, but we're lacking in.
The Lions' offensive line is actually semi-competent. The Eagles' offensive line outside of Kelsey's been bad this year.
Really? I could have. Well, you know what?
You ask any Eagles fan, they will say the O-line has been terrible.
I guess I'm looking at them still after that 10-1 start.
Yeah, like once Lane Johnson got hurt, like, and everything started to fall apart around the team, they got bad.
Okay, then that makes sense.
The Lions, they have a good offensive line, but sometimes they just fall apart, and especially on blitz.
Yeah, see, so Todd Bowles is gonna have to realize that and take advantage of it this weekend if the Bucks are gonna have a chance. So we'll see. This is actually some pretty good matchups this weekend. I like it. 2 old NFC Central rivals in the division round.
The best AFC ones, man. The AFC ones are rematches. Like, I guess, like, technically all the games besides the Packers 49ers are rematches, but, like...
Hey, look, that Baltimore Houston game?
Baltimore Texans one is going to be a rematch of week 1, and then you have the Bills Chiefs one, that game would have been an Arrowhead if Kadarius Toney wasn't offside.
It's funny how that actually all unfolds.
I mean, the weather would have been garbage in either place, but like the weather might be even worse in Buffalo than it is in Kansas City. But with the Texans-Ravens one, like, I want Stroud to keep winning in the playoffs because that would just be crazy if he does as a rookie. But then you also got to be like, Lamar got to start racking up some playoff wins because he only got 1 or 2 in his whole career. I think he only has 1 in his whole career. So Lamar for him, he needs to start getting playoff wins to get himself, to
really
a
established.
certain echelon of what he wants in his career. So them
Yeah.
getting Andrews back, they should be getting Andrews back at least. You got Zay Flowers, got Odell, got Isaiah Likely, Gus Edwards, Dalvin Cook's coming in now for the playoffs. Maybe we can get a kind of a little mini burst of energy from Dalvin Cook for the run game because I was at Gus Edwards. It ain't been that great. Like the Ravens running attack's not been really
But
consistent.
ever since Lamar's been there, like I mean, they had Ray Rice and stuff when Joe Flacco was there, but like ever since Lamar's been there, they don't go with one back. They go with multiple.
Yeah, they just rotate them.
Justice Hill, Gus Edwards. When they had Mark Ingram, they were using Mark Ingram. Like, but now you got take out Mark Ingram and put Dalvin Cook in there. Like you're gonna use a committee of backs. So it's like they just added another body to stay more fresh. Plus, it's actually funny.
Then, on the other side of it, you got Houston, who's like they diced up Cleveland, man, on offense, and then defense locked in that second half. Stroud played 11 snaps in the second half.
That is another team that has nothing to lose. They are playing with nothing to lose. The 2 4 seeds in this playoff for the NFC and the AFC are both playing with house money. They're like, yeah, fuck it. Let's go ahead.
Nobody cares about us anyway. We can just do what we want.
Exactly.
We're not even supposed to be here, pretty much.
Roll the dice. Let's do it. CJ Stroud is so calm, cool, and collected, and he's dicing people up, and he's probably gonna cook against Baltimore. Give or take, we're gonna see what he does with elements. And so, hey, I expect him to make plays. It's how Baltimore's defense responds. Baltimore's defense is gonna have to hit him early and often.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna have to.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
I think out of all the games, like people are gonna look to the Buffalo Kansas City one. I'm gonna be watching that not Atlanta. Jeez, wrong bird team. Sorry,
yeah, on your mind, man.
Baltimore, Houston game. That'll
Yeah.
be the one I'll be watching.
Same. Also with that Kansas City Buffalo game, it's like, dang, if Kadarius Toney, man, like you said, Kadarius Toney really lost the number 2 seed for Baltimore. I mean, for Kansas City. Like, dude, really.
Hey, I'll say this though. They got a number 1 wide receiver doing Rashee Rice. They can't say Mahomes got no help. Because Rashee Rice is him.
Of course not. And he is nice.
I mean, like, I don't think anybody saw the playoff game. Because I definitely didn't. Because I wasn't paying Peacock to watch that game.
I mean, I have Peacock. I watched it. But, dude, oh, my gosh. Like,
I already knew he was him anyway before the game.
Dude,
he just solidified his case.
I knew what the deal was. Like, okay. The Dolphins are coming from South Florida where it's like 68 degrees right now. And
to go to -1. We knew they weren't winning that game.
Exactly. Like, come on. Like, everyone knew that. I was like, dude, the Dolphins were beat getting off the plane. Like, come on, man. The Dolphins were beat getting off the plane. Before they know.
There is an issue where 16 people got frostbite in that game. Like, 16 fans got, like, hospitalized with frostbite and hypothermia.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's how cold that was. And then, like, it's going to probably be another cold one in Buffalo this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder who's
had to postpone the Blackhawks Buffalo game, not Bills, Sabres game in Buffalo today because of the weather being crappy. And that game is coming up this weekend. Yeah, well, this is probably still going to be crappy.
Mm-hmm. It's actually funny you say that. You know what else is ironic this weekend? The Lions
played the Lions and the Lightning played the Red and you want to hear what's even more funny? The Kings played the Red Wings when the Rams played the Lions. Same day too.
Did the Kings win?
I gotta check that. Whoa. He got booted from the stage.
Where did I go?
You got booted. I don't even know how.
I don't get it either. But yeah, so I find that
I gotta check that.
Someone was like Tampa to do something historic this coming weekend. I was like, yeah, they do. They really do.
The Lions played Saturday or Sunday?
The Lions play Sunday.
Well, the Kings Red Wings game was Saturday, but I'm saying when they played the Rams, what day was that?
That was Sunday night.
Okay, yeah. So, well, it's not the exact same, but the Red Wings did beat the Kings.
The Red Wings did beat. Okay, so all right, dang. So that'd be crazy if the Lightning go in there and beat the Red Wings, and then if that'd be crazy.
Or if the Red Wings and Lions both beat Tampa teams, that would suck.
Oh my gosh, that would be crazy too. Dang. Well, at least if we had a basketball team in Tampa, we could count on them to beat the Pistons. That would be the one bright spot.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That is true.
So yeah.
All right.
With that being said,
Let me get into the clown show that is the Saints, or no?
Let me ask
we
you
have something else to talk about first.
Should Dak come back in 2024?
He's coming back anyway. That contract makes him coming back.
Fair enough. Yeah, go ahead. What is wrong with this?
All right, guys. Who saw the clown show that was the Mickey Loomis press conference today? Anybody? Did you see what he said?
Not what he say.
All right. Let me pull up the exact quotes. All right. Give me a second. Where are you, Mickey, Mickey, Mickey? This Mickey Mouse is so stupid. I need to get a rat trap for him. All right. Where are you? All right. So first on the Lattimore. So remember they put a team option on Lattimore's contract for his bonus instead of a signing bonus. And he said there's a reason, but I'm not getting into it, which pretty much means Lattimore's getting traded. First and foremost. All right, next one. He said on the reason why he kept Dennis Allen. He said Chuck Noll in his first 3 years were 1-13, 5-9, 6-8. They recognize he's a good football coach. Bill Belichick, his first 3 years were 6-10, 7-9, 7-9. Tom Landry was 0-11, 4-9, 5-8, 4-10, 5-8. Right?
That's true.
All of them were Hall of Fame coaches. This is what he used to compare for Dennis Allen, who, by the way, has had 5 years of NFL head coaching experience. All these dudes he has compared Dennis Allen to those were their first 3 years ever. So first, that comparison doesn't even go together. Mm-hmm. And then third is like, who's gonna be your Joe Montana? Who's gonna be your Tom Brady type quarterback? Who's gonna save him? It is definitely not Derek Carr. So like, come on now, this dude is so out of touch with reality. It's like, oh my god, I can't deal with this clown anymore. He's lost all sense of it, man. He's so out of touch with everything. It's like, jeez, like what possessed you to like say something like that? And then like the worst part of the Saints offense was the offensive line, and they didn't get rid of the offensive line coach. They said he did a good job, guys, except the offensive line was actually terrible.
Yeah, remember, like he's trying to appeal to a fan base that has like no motivation right now.
The fan base wants him gone too.
He's trying
to. The fan base wants both of them gone.
He's trying to appease to you. That's what he's trying to do.
He is not appeasing them. He's pissing them off even more.
Yeah, that's the thing. He doesn't realize that he's also doing that at the same time. That's part of the problem.
And like none of the reporters want to check him, which is ridiculous. Like I guess that's like their livelihood. They can't piss off the team. But like, man, at this point, like somebody got to check him because he's just talking his nonsense right now. But like I said, there's a lot of crappy teams going around right now because look at the Eagles. The Eagles have their own problems.
They do. They do.
1 minute they said Howie Roseman is the greatest GM of all time. Now everybody wants Howie gone.
That's actually funny too. Like, yeah. Dude, what? I'm trying to figure that out myself. Like, dude, how did he go from being like the greatest GM of all time when the
Philly Bulldogs was a fail?
Honestly, dude, I feel like, yeah. Like, even, like, honestly, I was saying it Monday night. I was like, where's Kelly Ringo? Like, I'd put him in for Bradbury.
Bradbury did get benched for Ringo after the first drive or the second drive?
What's his name? Bradbury was out there like in the third quarter.
Oh, yeah, and he missed that tackle and they got a touchdown off of it.
Yeah. Dude, and Ray Lewis's face, dude. Did you see his face on the Manning
That was
pass?
just crazy.
Dude, Ray Lewis was so pissed off. He was like, nobody practices angles. Nobody practices putting the ball carrier in a cup and like surrounding the ball carrier anymore. Like he was like, this is so.
Eagles could not tackle.
I know that was a horrible display. The first touchdown to David Moore, like
The funniest part was they beat a man's defense in a Super Bowl and said, you know what? I want that guy to come coach our defense. And Matt Patricia. I'm like, are you guys like lacking brain cells or something? Like, I don't know what's going on in the NFL, but it's just like, what are y'all doing?
dude.
But anyways, let's talk about some college hoops. I've had enough.
Yes, let's. Where's that graphic at? If I can find it. Oh, there we go. Finally, it's up. Oh wow, wait, we haven't even. Jeez, I haven't even.
Is that this year's Hoopers or last year? Those look like this year Hoopers.
I think it is this year's Hoopers. Wait,
very nice.
Yeah, but yeah. So as far as college hoops goes, right now, the UConn Lady Huskies are in action against Seton Hall tonight. Also, too, don't be surprised yet, but Ole Miss is 15-1, the men's team. It's pretty crazy. Oh, Florida State and Miami are playing too on the ACC network.
Ooh.
That's actually usually a pretty decent basketball game. But yeah, so Texas Tech and Houston play tonight at 9 o'clock. That'll be on ESPNU. And then if we look at it, I actually want to see these SEC standings because this is actually pretty crazy to me. If you look at the SEC standings as it goes, oh my gosh, I lost it. So yeah, if you look at the SEC standings as it goes right now, it's basically 15-1 Ole Miss is sitting there in 5th place. Jeez, because they lost one conference game. Alabama is actually 12-5, 4-0 in the conference. Right behind them is Bruce Pearl's Auburn team, who's 3-0 in the conference and 14-2. Tennessee is number 6 in the country. They're 3-1, 13-4. And also Georgia, 3-1, 13-4 overall. So it's kind of funny how like the top teams in football in the SEC are kind of like the top teams in basketball. You notice that? But honestly, I'll say it is. Alabama really takes pride in all their athletic programs now.
It's crazy, Alabama for a long time until I think Colin Sexton came around. Alabama hoops weren't that great.
Oh no, because they tried the experiment with Avery Johnson fell flat on its face. I think they made one tournament appearance, but that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Because now
they were a little decent when Colin Sexton was there, and then Kira Lewis teams were like, They had and then I want to say it was Herb Jones, and then Brandon Miller showed up, and then that's when the real program started getting good.
Mm-hmm.
Like the tournament run for Miller wasn't great, but I mean they did all right in the tournament for the most part compared to like some other programs like Wake Forest and them. Like, come on now.
Yeah, actually,
it's slowly getting there for them.
There's actually an interesting Saturday at 2 p.m. Alabama against Tennessee.
Nah, Tennessee's probably winning that.
It is in Knoxville, so
Tennessee's always had a good basketball program.
Oh, dude, all the time. Like primarily the women have always traditionally been good because of obviously, Coach Pat Summitt and all her as legendary as she is, but now Tennessee women have just fallen off the face of the planet. Because right now South Carolina is the class of college basketball, along with UConn occasionally sitting there, which I'm actually surprised UConn's women's team has lost 3 games already so far in the season. But there's been a lot of upsets too outside of South Carolina.
Oh yeah, the Kansas upset and UCF. That one was crazy. They stormed the court in that one. I was like, whoa.
Dude, even LSU women losing to Auburn. I think it was Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Sometime over the weekend. Like, I was like, what? Yeah, it was 60. Yeah, it was Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday, 67-62. and it was like down goes LSU. I was like, holy crap, what? So like Angel Reese had 24 points, 8 of 15 from the field goal, 8 of 12 from the free throw line. And then Honesty Scott Grayson, yes, this girl's name was literally Honesty. 21 points, 9 of 12 from the field goal, 2 for 3 field in free throws.
I hope she is honest.
Hey, she was honest enough to get the dub. And Auburn women is actually 12-5. So the way the SEC standings looks right now is South Carolina, LSU, Vanderbilt, Tennessee at 10-6.
Now, to be honest, now there's always funny is I actually get more enjoyment watching the women's tournament than the men's.
Oh, dude, of course, same.
Like that like last year especially was like, oh my god, the women's was at least 10 times better than the men's tournament.
Dude, because like honestly, like I tried to get so
Caitlin Clark changing it right now, but it's been good for so long. Women's basketball has been like the tournaments itself has just been like wow.
Yeah, dude, because it's
And
like,
generally it's like either UConn, LSU, or South Carolina winning, but like even then they're still competitive and like really fun to watch.
exactly, because it goes all the way down to the wire. Like last year, the aura of like Caitlin Clark, and then you had Angel Reese on the other
Angel
side.
Reese, yeah.
Dude, like, that was. I'm like, oh,
Oh yeah. But
Is it-
I said it last week on why it's kind of like, you know, the women they're there on those teams for 3 years before they can go pro. NBA, like the men's side is 1 year and then they go to the NBA. So it's like you don't really get a chance for storylines and actual rivalries to build up between the players compared to women's where it's you get stuck with them. Like they're there for 3 years. They get to build it with their teams and with the other opposing players for 3 years. And you're like,
That's facts. Nah, for real. Because like the only storylines you really get now is like the program storylines or like the men. It's like, or you get like a coach's storyline or something like, oh, this coach worked his way from here. Like it's something like that. Or like, what was it? Was last year St. Peter's when they went on this? Like, no, it was the year before.
Yeah.
So like that was sad. You want to talk about poaching a roster?
Oh yeah, they took that whole team off.
Dude, everybody on that team, transfer portal, got accepted here, going there. Like the coach was gone too, I think. Like they poached the crap out of that roster. Like that
And that's
was
just like when there is a Cinderella team, the whole team's just gone after that year. So you don't get to see them do it again.
exactly like that's why I was so curious to see, like, okay, you know what? What would Florida Gulf Coast do if it wasn't for the one and done? What would well, although they did make it back, UMBC, or was it with Mother Jean?
The Loyola Chicago.
Yeah, Loyola Chicago. Like, well, they made it back a couple times. So like but like teams like St. Peter's, Florida Gulf Coast, which was Dunk City, or even like UMBC, like I would love to have seen what those teams could have done had they been able to stick together. But now you have this one and done. You have the transfer portal, which affects more than just football, and these teams get split up so fast, faster than you can enjoy them. But well, I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention the SWAC standings for the men. So the SWAC standings as follows: is Jackson State leads at 3-0 in the conference, 7-9 overall. FAMU is 2-12, 0-3 in the conference. Coach McCollum.
Yeah, I gave up with FAMU basketball. Like we kind of knew they weren't going to be good again.
Dude, Coach McCollum's got to go, man. I watched
their like, how do you get sponsored by LeBron and have a terrible program?
That part.
That's like disrespecting, like more than just like what happened to your dignity, your shame? Like, come on now, have some pride.
If there's anybody needs to put in a resignation, it's Coach McCollum. I'm sorry. I don't advocate for coaches at FAMU to get fired.
That one she could. That one 80 Sykes can take her time and make sure she gets right.
Oh, dude, hell yeah, dude. Now that's one. Like that one can go. I'm sorry. I just have to tell the truth. Because there's no reason they should have got beat. There's no reason they got beat to sleep by their rival Bethune. That should never have happened. That shouldn't happen. That should be a more competitive game. way more competitive because now you're sitting in the dumpster or in the bottom of the SWAC with Mississippi Valley, who hadn't even won a basketball game yet. They're sitting there at 0-17. Like that should happen.
But I know the women's generally have some decent success.
Oh, the women look better. Give or take.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right now, they're like 2-12, but like the needle is moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
Jackson State's women's team also they're dominating right now. Like they made the tournament last year. But you also got, Grambling's women's team is 3-1, 9-6. Southern is 3-1, 5-10. Pine Bluff, they're 2-1, 7-9 in the conference overall. Wow, Pine Bluff actually is top 5 in something, top 4 in something. Wow. Impressive.
Wow. Shots fired.
I mean, but honestly,
unnecessary.
I'm gonna
Very
be
unnecessary, bro.
I'm gonna be real. Like, I think Jackson State's gonna run away with the SWAC in basketball or women's basketball. I think that's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think FAMU will probably get knocked out in the opening round of the men's tournament. But I will say, I do like what Bridget Gordon's got going on in Tallahassee. She's slowly building it up. She needs more dogs, but it'll be fine. Just, don't give up on that team yet. The women are going to be fine. They're going to get better over time. And it'll probably happen quicker because of the transfer portal. But all right, so anything else we got this evening, Ace?
Any NBA talk? Rest in peace, the coach from the Warriors who passed away today.
Dude, that was sad, dude. I got that update. That was really sad.
Yeah. Rest in peace, him. Prayers out for the Warriors and his family and all those people involved with that. That was real sad. Only 46 and a heart attack. That's rough. So rest in peace, him. Prayers to everybody involved with that. And yeah.
Also, too.
Why is my mom texting me that the dog ate chocolate? What am I going to be able to do from here? Jesus Christ.
Also, one other thing, too. Actually, funny. Golden State plays Dallas Friday night on ESPN.
Yeah, they postponed the Jazz game for tonight with the Warriors because of it.
So the other thing, too, is as we wrap this up tonight, TCU's women's team, they forfeited their game tonight against Kansas State because TCU forfeits its second game for the second time in 2 seasons that a Power 5 conference team has been forced due to lack of players.
That's I don't know how you let that happen.
So
it's terrible when that happens, I should say.
So
that's kind of out of your control.
Here's what happens. So 10 players appeared in TCU's 77-66 loss to Houston on Saturday. So one of those players was point guard Jaden Owens. The senior played just 7 minutes before suffering a season-ending torn ACL and meniscus in her right knee. Owens had been averaging nearly 10 points per game and over 30 minutes per game for the Horned Frogs. So this was back on January 16th. Owens' injury came after star forward Sedona Price suffered a finger injury against Baylor on January 3rd. Prince played 40 minutes against the Bears, but announced days after the game that she had a broken finger on the first play of the game. Prince is averaging over 21 points per game after transferring from Oregon and is out indefinitely. So the Horned Frogs started the season 14-0 and won their first conference game of the season against BYU. Since then, TCU has lost 4 games and it will officially have a 6-game losing streak before the next scheduled contest against UCF on the 23rd. Honestly, dude, right at this point now, it's like we need to have a talk with the strength coach. Why are there so many injuries? We need to have a talk about, like, how are you practicing?
Training staff, medical staff, coaching staff. Like, geez.
Like, dude, why is there so many injuries? Because, like, this should not be happening.
Doing something wrong.
This is why you train. This is why you do so much conditioning. This is why you lift so many weights. This is why you recover your body the way you're supposed to. Like, this should not be happening. So hopefully TCU's women's team can get that taken care of and figure it out, because you can't afford to lose any more girls like this, dude. It's painful to them.
You need to hold a little investigation for that, because like, I know sometimes injuries like is bad luck, but that many, like, and they're all tears. It's like, yeah, something's not being done right, or whatever is something's not being done in the best interest of those girls.
Exactly. Now that's really, hell, who knows? TCU might need a search committee for their basketball team. I didn't say nothing.
Sure, you ain't saying nothing. All right. With that being, or lack thereof being said, that is going to do it for us for tonight's episode of the Running Gun Podcast.
Yep.
Shout out Ashton and whoever has been watching the show on whatever platform. Just make sure you drop a like and hit that subscribe button. You know, helps us out. Helps, you know, you guys get to see more of us. You never know. I don't know if we give a good impression or not, but like if you keep coming back, you might as well hit the button and help us out too.
Exactly. Now, hopefully, if you come back and join us next week for episode 15, hopefully there will be a head coach in Tallahassee by then. Or, you know what? Let's look at when the next solar eclipse is.
Oh god. When is the next blue moon?
The next solar eclipse is Monday, April 8th, 2024. So hopefully FAMU has a head coach by then. No? Hey, I'm just saying. Like, hopefully there's somebody by the time the next solar eclipse happens.
All right. Let me end this now. Just run the outro because you're gonna just keep going.
I'm just saying, man, I want consistency. But have a good night, folks. Take care.